Hello guys, this is Brian Carroll with Team Lettuce. First, the player will go inside the building. The door will already be open. The player will grab this crate and place it on the pressure plate. There will also be a cash collectible behind these barrels the player can pick up. Once the player enters the next room, they will use these barrels to break through this broken wall. Once the player has broken through the wall, they can collect that cash there and take the crate outside of the room and place it on this pressure plate here. In the next room, the player can see that there's a fire, so they will take this water barrel here and take it to the next room and throw it at the fire. It should go out. Then the player will use these beams to make their way across the toxic waste. Alright, and there will also be toxic waste barrels that the player will jump on. And make it across to the next room. If the player takes damage, they can pick up a health pack and they will press E to open this door, grab the fire extinguisher and throw it into the fire, and the fire will go out. And the player will enter this room. There will be a health pack. And press E to open the door, grab the fire extinguisher, and use it to put out the other fire. The player will then need to break through this debris here, pushing it out the way, and grab the power cell. The player will then be able to power the generator by pressing E, and it will open the door. When the player gets outside, they will need to use these barrels here to create a path across the toxic waste pool. And once the player makes it across, they will crouch under the pile of cars, grab another power cell, and go back out. The player can use this other barrel here to make their way back across. The player will then crouch under and over these pipes. Here will be my featured asset with the electric fence. The player will need to crouch under that and avoid touching the fence. There's a cash pickup inside the seat of the car, and between the second and third car there will be an engine part. This engine is important for the scrapper. He will need to take that back to the bastion. And next, the player will enter this minefield and navigate their way through, and press E to activate the generator. They will then crouch under and into the garage. The player will see that there's a fire, so they will need to go find some way to put it out. The player will crouch under that door In this room there will be a cash pickup and a health pack. And the player can see that there's a fire alarm, and they'll press E to activate it. Once the alarm is activated, the player will be able to complete a puzzle. The code for the puzzle will be on this post up there, and they can activate it by pressing E on the pillars in the correct order. After the player has put in the correct code, they will press E on the generator. They'll be able to open the door, and they will make their way up the steps. Once a player gets on to the top of the garage, they will need to find a rock, and this rock will be used to activate a pressure plate. And then once they enter the room, there will be a cash pickup. Press E to open the door, get the fire extinguisher, and put out a fire. The player will then go around the car and pick up a wheel. This wheel will be used to place on this car, and they can activate that by pressing E, and then they will be able to push this car off of the building. Just push it a little more, and once the player has pushed the car off, that will end my level, and you will be able to go into Brian's level.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Saltzman for Team Lettuce, and the Scrapper was trying to find an engine part in Brian Carroll's level, and that's the overall objective of the level, is to find that engine part for the Bastion in order to power a generator for the people of the Bastion. And once we've got the Bastion, we head on home in our awesome helicopter here, and it looks like we're going to be away, but oh no! The chopper is going down, and we are going to have to make our way back to the Bastion on foot. And as you see here, the chopper crashes, starts a fire. Looks really good, and you come in here, and this is my level, and you see the co-pilot here, dead as a doornail, and he drops a data disk. And to exit this area, you just simply push this beam out of the way, and you enter. Beam is heavy. And you'll enter the first area of my level, and which will be blocked off by this fire from the helicopter crash. And the only player path is over here to the left. And as you can see, there's more fire. There's a fire barrel from the crash that sort of leads the player to this collectible here if he goes and explores it. And the main objective of this area is to find these water barrels here and sort of get them over this, give them over these logs to the fire in order to extinguish it. Now if you throw these barrels out of the world or over the level to where the player can't access them, they will reset. These barrels are pretty heavy, so gonna have to use your skills with the grapnel, which I am failing with at the moment. Come on. Unreal. Alright, let's see if the other barrel can be a little bit more easy to control. These are heavy barrels, so it's hard to get them over there. There we go. Get it up over to the fire here and just extinguish it, put it out, and you'll have to jump over these logs around here. You see another collectible in front of you, and all you have to do is jump up on this box to get the collectible. There we go. And then you come to the second fire bit. Once again, you just toss these barrels here. You can move these boxes here. They're all rendered the same throughout the whole game, so the player will know to move them. And you just pick up that health pack there. Come to this area, and once again, here's some more barrels on fire to let the player know that there's something around the fire barrels, sort of communicating with them without actually telling them what to do. Breadcrumbing, if you will. And here's another box you can move out of the way to get another data disc. Another collectible. And then you see another piece of fire bit. And if you look off to the left, there's some more fire barrels. And you have more water barrels over here. And the fire again lets you know that there's something over here, come check me out. And then once you toss the third barrel into the fire puzzle, you'll enter this bit. And to get by this bit, there's this gray stone door over there. It's blocking the player's path. You simply have to move this tree and push this block into place, which will unlock the stone door. And you have to make your way over there. And as you can see, there's another box you can move here. And another fire barrel indicating that there is another collectible. Another circuit board for the player to collect. And another fire barrel, another circuit board. Now this area I have changed previously in my level. The first time it used to just be a jumping thing. Now it's a platforming thing. Now it is you have to move this block over here. And if you fall in the water, it won't insta-kill you. You'll take some damage, but it'll allow the player to proceed without getting insta-killed. And once you navigate that maze, you'll have to jump down here. You can get another collectible by the fire barrel. Crouch under this thing, and you'll come to this final area here before reaching the bunker. And there will be another fire barrel followed by a collectible pattern here. And then all you have to do is throw this box at this wall, knocking these trees out of the way. But if this box goes over, it's no big deal. You can still move these things with the grab gun, and it's not a breaker. And then coming to this area here, you can see the glass and a dead body in there from someone who had passed through previously. You can take this box and hit the glass, and you can pick up, this guy has cash, and there's another collectible over here. And then the player can move right along to the left here, to the side of the building. Some more jump crouch puzzles. And he'll come to this area where it seems to be blocked off, but you can move these pieces of wood with the grab gun. Sort of navigate your way to the end of this here, and it's not an insta-kill. If it hurts you, you'll take some damage, not a lot. And then once you get through that thing, you'll see another piece of glass here, broken bit. Another guy who unfortunately lost his life, but hey, there's cool stuff by him, so you might as well pick it up. And then moving here to the bunker entrance, you see some crates blocking your way. You're just going to knock these out of your way. And this will bring you to my featured asset, which is these cameras over here. I put the yellow light on them to let you know that if you enter that, you will take some damage. So you have to wait for the light to move off, and the camera's not looking at the player. That way they can come over here, get this key. And there's another camera over here. You can see the glare from the light there. And once again, you just have to avoid the radius, avoid being hit by that. And once you have the key, you can open this door and proceed forward. There's some health pack there, so in case you take damage from the camera. And all you have to do is throw this box here, and that's the end of my level, and this will lead you into Evan's level as soon as you get into this elevator. And that's my level.
Thanks, Brian. This is Evan Darling of Team Lettuce, and on his way home, our scrapper will have to navigate through this abandoned bunker. And in order to get inside, the player will have to move one of these blocks to the front of the entrance and jump on the blocks in order to be able to crawl inside. Once the player is inside the bunker, they can come behind this desk here and find this physics object here, and then they can throw it at the glass window there, break it, and come inside to grab a hidden collectible. After that, the player can enter the main room of the bunker, and they'll immediately see a pool of electrified water. And in order to avoid taking damage from it, they'll have to create a bridge using this physics object here. And once the player has successfully navigated it, they'll be able to come over here, and they'll see my featured asset, which is a group of mines, which are going to be throughout my level. These first group of mines are guarding the very first battery that the player has to collect. Now, this battery is very important, as it will allow the player to progress through the bunker by inserting them into old computers like this to open doors forwards. Now, before the player progresses through the door, they can grab this box here and throw it at this shelf in order to knock it down and grab a money collectible that is on the shelf. After they've done that, they'll come through this hallway here and see another group of mines, and then the player can progress past them and grab this box to break another glass window. Once they've done that, you'll see a hidden collectible behind this shelf here. You can grab it and destroy another window to proceed to the next room. Inside the next room, the player will notice the security badge here, which will allow them to open a door further on the level. And after they've done that, the player can explore this room for a bit and collect the health pack and a hidden collectible. And while they're at it, they can open this dresser here by interacting with it and grab the second battery. After they've done that, they can leave the room, and to leave the room, they'll have to navigate past another minefield and then crawl under this to reach the second computer room. They can insert the battery into the computer, which will power on the security badge scanner in that room. But before they go in there, they can collect a hidden collectible by throwing this physics object here, to knock that down and grab a cash pickup. They can scan the badge to open it and go to the next room. Now, in this room, the player will notice a security camera with lights displaying where it is currently viewing, and the player will have to navigate past the light to come over here to this window, grab a box, and throw it to break the glass down in order to proceed further. Once they've done that, the player will notice this concrete slab here, and they can move it with the grapnel, jump on top of it to pick up the third battery, and then they can insert it into this computer here and grab a health pack on the way out. Inserting the battery into the third computer opens this door here on the other side of the hallway, which the player can crawl under, and they'll enter this safe room, which will contain a pressure plate puzzle, the safe itself, and another computer. If the player opens the safe by interacting with the computer, they can walk up to it and grab another hidden collectible, and then they can leave the room by moving this box onto the pressure plate. Once they've done that, the next area, which is Fabio's, will be available to them.
Thank you, Evan. Hey guys, this is Fabio with Team Lettuce, and this is my level. My level is going to take place in a sewer. This is the only way to get to the bastion underground, below the house, where the player will be able to reach his car and get to the bastion. So right here, we're gonna go ahead and start. Level's gonna be decently dark. It's going to want the player to turn on his flashlight, where he's going to be able to see this hidden message. This hidden message tells him to watch out for traps. And traps are my featured asset. I have various traps around this level, and some are spike traps, like the one you see here. And most of them are, you could tell where the traps are because they are dead bodies. So it kind of helps the player figure out where the traps are, or to be cautious in certain areas. This is another variation of traps that the player is going to have to carefully move. Oh, and not get sliced in half like I did. Carefully move through that. Right here, the setup. The player is going to have to stack these boxes in order to reach a key. It's an access key that the player will need further in the level. So we're going to go ahead and jump over these boxes. We're going to notice here that there's really no way of getting out, and player is going to then try to figure out how to get out of here. So that's when he's going to push this block. It's textured differently, so the player will be able to see that it's interactable. Now we're going to get through these boxes and pass those blades and get to the next setup, where the player is going to have to jump these boxes and reach to this side. We also textured these this material right here, like Brian explained. It's going to help the player and teach him that certain material is movable with the grapnel. And we're going to come over here, reach a checkpoint. We're going to get these health. We're going to get that collectible over there. And we're going to grab this box and place it here. Jump over this. We're going to collect this collectible right here. Alright. Oh. I'm going to jump. Oh, okay, we dead. It's fine. We have a checkpoint right there. These could be a little tricky sometimes. It's okay. There we go. Alright, cool. Now we're going to reach the button. This is a one-way door. Also, my traps close after a certain amount of time, so the player has to cross it before it closes. Otherwise, he's just going to have to press the button again. But this is so player's always interacting with things. There's another dead body, so there's got to be a trap somewhere, so we're going to be cautious. Crouch down, get this collectible. We're going to get over these pipes, jump in on this box, and then we're going to reach here. Right here, there's going to be a message popping up telling the player that we need a key, and we can't cross this right here because it's blocked. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to the other side. There's a dead body, so we're gonna be cautious again. There's a trap. Oh god, I died. We got to be really careful with those traps there. Okay, gonna jump over that. There's a health pack right there. So it's going to be a message box telling you that this wall looks pretty weak and we can probably destroy it, and we can. Going to go ahead and destroy that. And then we notice that the wall on that side isn't no longer there, so we're going to go ahead and explore, and we see a health pack and a key. We found the iron key, so now we're going to go back over here. Then we're going to go over here and unlock and turn off the water, allowing us to cross and reach this checkpoint. Once again, this wall is textured the same as the other, and it looks decently weak, so we're going to go ahead and destroy it. Guess we're going to need one more box to throw in there. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to reach here, and we can see it's kind of like a little control station. In the security camera, we see it's hovering over a camera. And since we have the access key, we're going to go ahead and use it. And that opens the door over there. Now we're going to go ahead, cross this way. Before we cross, we're going to get this health pack and a collectible. There's another dead guy. He probably died to that trap right there. I'm gonna go ahead and jump this. And we see a cache right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. See if there's a collectible back here. There's not. So we're gonna go over here, move these boxes out of the way. Oh, we see there's a collectible over here, so we're gonna go ahead and get that. Then we've reached the end, and we escape the sewer system. We're gonna make our way up these stairs, and we're gonna reach Hunter's level.
Thank you, Fabio. What a truly amazing level you have there. Now we come into my area, Hunter with Team Lettuce, and you're going to bust out the sewer grate there. And right off the bat, you're going to notice a pool you're going to have to cross. So now you're going to have to use skills that you've learned from all the previous levels so far in order to work the grapnel and stack these boxes to get up the other side. And once you do, if you look to the left in the shed, you'll notice my first collectible, which is fresh water inside a water bottle. Those will be throughout the entire area. And now you bust through here and come into the bedroom, which has some cash right here on the bed. And some more water, as well as a record player that you can turn on to play a slight musical note throughout the level while you're playing. And now, in order to continue, you must move these desks out of the way. Or just enough so you can get by. And once you do that, you just make your way through this hallway, duck under the debris, get the water bottle behind those chairs, and now you're in the garage, which has had a pretty rough time. You'll see some terrain coming up out of the floor and water that is electrified from the broken circuit breaker. You must make your way across and power that off. You can grab the collectible, and you can safely make your way to the hidden collectible in that corner. And once you've done that, you'll get into the living room here, which has my featured asset, the piano, which you can also play to play a little musical note. And you'll find another water bottle on this desk, as well as a health pack if you got hurt in the previous room. Once you've done all that, you can make your way into the basement, which will have you still practicing skills you learned, moving, stacking, work with the grabnel, and you just make your way through here, stack these boxes. If you'll notice in this corner, there's another water bottle. And for this next puzzle, you'll notice it's fairly similar to that of the garage, in which the floor is now electrified, and if you step in it, you will get hurt. So now, instead of just jumping across, you actually have to build the path yourself. And once you do that, there's some health here in case you took damage, and a hidden water bottle behind these boxes. Now that you have all that, make your way into the final room of the basement, which gives you the last water bottle and the door to get out into the front yard, which you will now have to move these boxes to make a makeshift staircase. And once you do, you can climb up here into the front yard, the last water bottle of the level, and now you've finally made it back into the city where the bastions are at. Thank you for watching our level. This was Team Lettuce.